How's it going? Welcome back. My name is Jonathan, and I'd just like to welcome every new person who has subscribed to the channel over the last 2 years. So this channel is based on the methods and forecasting analysis of W.D. Gann, and more recently, we've pulled in Mick Werder's theory of stock market forecasting. The whole purpose of this channel is to show you different ways that we can use the methods taught by Gann to forecast the future. No doubt, we don't always get every single forecast correct. There are going to be times when we're completely off the ball, but I like to say we have things pretty down pat with what we're doing, and some of our forecasts have been immaculately correct, and I could not be more proud of what we do. However, there is one thing that I don't touch on, and that is politics, or things that are quite sensitive in one way or another. Now, I do share a lot of this on my socials, and I post stories, but I've never really posted a video that stays online, and that was just out of sympathy. I have done videos in the past, and I am going to share with you a video today which someone else has done, and I do want you to watch it because this is crucial. Now, if you're new to me and you haven't seen any of my videos in the past, I do want you to watch Rules to Forecasting Terrorist Attacks. Are they random by nature? I would like you to watch that because it details actually a lot of the rules which you can apply to the stock market, but we overlay it to the rules of the world. Okay, these are natural laws, and that's why we can apply it to anything. I'd encourage you to start there. This next one is called The End of Australia, a forecaster's perspective, the 248-year cycle. Now, it goes over the Aboriginal cycle, okay? But there was a comment I made in there which was the issue we have with the Muslims in Australia. Now, I never followed up with a video on that, and I thought that that video would be too censored, or too sensitive, I should say, and might cause a lot of pushback, especially given the state of the country. And I was, at the time of making this video, I was living in Melbourne, and I didn't want to put myself in any form of danger. I no longer live in Melbourne. Melbourne is probably what you'd consider the terrorist capital of Australia. Yes, that could be quite sensitive. But I had business in Melbourne, and I could tell you, the people living down there, they are something else. Most people, most of the wealthy, affluent people are leaving Melbourne, and Melbourne in itself is just collapsing. So I don't want to go off topic. I'm going to show you someone else's video which goes over this and the stuff that just goes on in Victoria, Melbourne, and you'll just realize just how screwed up it is down there. So rules to forecasting terrorist attacks, are they random by nature? Then go ahead and watch The End of Australia. This is just going to give you some of the forecasting rules, okay? And then once you've done that, this is the 84-year war cycle. Finalize your affairs for war. Now, I went over this one, I can't remember, probably the start or the middle of around 2023, so well over a year ago now. And it goes over the upcoming war cycle that the US is going to be in, and especially Donald Trump's involvement in the war cycle, which I go through in the first installment of those kind of videos. So again, I'd just like to thank you and welcome you if you're new here. What I do can sometimes be a little boring. You know, I'm not some sort of high-end personality person. However, I do try to give you value, and I try to show you things in a way that maybe someone else might not be able to. So stay tuned. Please stick around for the video I'm going to show you now. I think it's both infuriating and interesting, and I just want to say that this guy that did this video has done a good job.
All right, folks, this is Sultan, and I've got another troublesome, in fact, embarrassing piece of news for you. In Melbourne, we have two departmental store giants, David Jones and Myer. In Melbourne CBD, they are right next to each other on Burke Street. There's a tradition of Christmas decorations all around Melbourne's shopping centres, where kids just go to take photos with Santa Claus. All in all, it's a very beautiful sight. Kids are loving it, adults are having fun, and the city has come alive. Culture is flourishing, but no more, thanks to the usual suspects, the Islamists and far-left thugs. So one of these retail giants, Myer, cancelled their Christmas decorations, mind you, a 75-year-old tradition in Melbourne, out of fear that pro-Palestinian mobs would target their staff and decorations. Let me read what they said. In light of recent developments, to ensure the well-being and safety of customers and team members, we will no longer hold an event on Burke Street Mall for the unveiling of our Christmas windows. Myers Christmas windows have long symbolized joy and community, and we remain committed to providing a safe and positive experience for all visitors. Now let me translate it for you. They basically said that something we've been doing for nearly 75 years peacefully and successfully in Australia, we can no longer do it because we have imported foreign elements and their toxic ideology that hate what we do here in Australia. They hate our values, they hate our culture, and they hate to see us being happy and enjoying our lives. So since our government has no spine and no interest in protecting us or our staff, it's best for us to let Australia go to the dogs. I'm sure by now you'd be thinking, what are you saying? Surely you're exaggerating, Harry. This is happening in plain sight. So pro-Palestinian mobs announced the Crash the Christmas Windows protest last week. The activist behind this was a far-left wokey, useful idiot of Islamists, Amy Settle. Now, we don't know much about the identity of this Amy Settle. However, this tweet claims that this is the person behind the pseudonym Amy Settle. I can't make any definitive claims, but I'll leave that with you. On Friday, she said, the intention was to interrupt the media spectacle and economic gain sought by Maya. Hell, economic gain? They're all commies, aren't they? The children coming to see the Maya Christmas window were never a target because children are not a target. Pro-Palestine group Disrupt Wars encouraged supporters to bring flags, placards, banners, props, noisemakers, and lots of energy to interrupt the Christmas windows reveal. So after this threat, nothing happened. This activist wasn't charged with criminal intimidation, and instead, Maya, a large corporation, said, okay, you win. We won't decorate our windows with Christmas ornaments. That's it. How easily can you surrender to mobs in the West? It's mind-boggling. Does that make you angry? I don't care where you are. It's already happened in Britain. My worst nightmare is coming to reality right before my eyes in slow motion. Australia is going down the same path as England, and no one is doing anything about it. So after Maya capitulated, this far-left Wokistani pleasingly announced, we are very pleased with the outcome that Maya has decided to cancel their consumerist party. And that's it, guys. They won so easily. And the Premier of Victoria, Jacinta Allen, who belongs to the Labour Party, couldn't do anything other than deliver these petty, empty words. Blocking the Christmas windows won't change a thing in the Middle East, but it will let down a bunch of kids in Melbourne. Who does that help? You think they care about your guilt tripping? She further said, we cannot let ugly protests ruin a beautiful Christmas tradition, and we cannot let violence, division, and vilification ruin what makes Victoria great. Now let me steelman why the protesters did this. Their main argument was that Australia is helping Israel kill thousands of children in Gaza. Therefore, our kids have no right to find joy in their lives because we are killing a lot of kids in Gaza. Victoria Police was shamed into not protecting Maya, so they quickly came out and said, the community should be assured Victoria Police will have a visible presence on Sunday. Any decision to cancel the event sits with Maya. So they basically gave a hidden assurance to Maya that they will be protected. So after public outcry, Maya changed its decision and decided to go ahead with the Christmas window decorations. Therefore, the demonstrators came back, and this is what happened on Sunday.
Melbourne CBD, where the Maya Christmas windows have officially been unveiled with little fanfare after protest threats.
Live to 9's Kiara Parker on Burke Street. Kiara, what's happening there as we come to you?
Well, protesters have now rocked up. There's only 4 of them, but they're making their voices heard, blowing bubbles and draped in a Palestine flag. There's a sign that reads, you look stupid looking at windows while kids are being murdered. They're also chanting, bombs are dropping while you are shopping. There was little fanfare this morning as the windows were officially unveiled at 7:30. Hardly anybody was here, but Santa was on hand with his elves to pull down the curtain and unveil the Australia Zoo theme. Police aren't on scene yet. They have been called, and they did promise they'd have a visible presence after protesters threatened on Friday to shut down this event, and Maya had to cancel the official unveiling. So we're just waiting for police to rock up. But as you can hear, it's getting a bit rowdy here in Melbourne, which has really infuriated Melburnians that this Christmas tradition has been ruined by protesters. Premier Jacinta Allen condemned their behaviour, but the state opposition says move-on laws need to be reinstated, and retailers are calling for protest permits to be reinstated like in other states. They say businesses are suffering and they're sick of Melbourne being the protest capital.
So if you're thinking that nothing serious happened because in the end Maya did go ahead with its tradition of decorating its windows with Christmas decorations, technically yes. But the more I see these kinds of developments in Western countries, the more I'm convinced that Westerners are like that frog in a pot. You keep adjusting and losing your freedoms, customs and values bit by bit in the name of compassion or keeping the peace. But in the end, it will be too late for you to wind the clock back. You don't have to look far. Just look at Britain. I am going from being an optimistic person to a little bit pessimistic. In fact, almost angry because I can see Australia will no longer be Australia. Our suburbs will resemble third world shitholes as they do in England. And our government will not grow a spine because our people, frankly speaking, are spineless. Just like Britain, Australia is a high trust society. Australians have believed in their governments and don't want to break the law. Essentially, Australians have been defanged. And I think they're just too scared to rock the boat. Every time they attack Australian values, culture, and customs, we must push back. We should have counter-protests and tell our governments, local or federal, that this cannot go on in Australia. I don't know how successful we'll be. Maybe we are living through the age of the fall of Western civilization. Anyway, I hope you learned something from today's video. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The best way to support the channel is by going to harrysalt.com and buying yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie. Or you can also be a patron of my channel, where you get to see uncensored videos before they're released to the public. If not, then simply buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/HarrisSultan. Until next time, ta-da. If you'd like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/HarrisSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.